Names are James Mutinda. I am a organic farmer in Machakos County, Yata sub-county. Where we are is Sofia in Mukameni village, where my farm is. Basically, I've been into organic agriculture for the last 6 years. Our interest has been drawn over the years by a very specific or special kind of plant called the orange flesh sweet potato. As you can see from the background, this is a variety of sweet potato that we've been growing for the last 2.5 years. The reason why we decided to adapt this variety is because we've been trying a number of the other varieties before, and they were not really doing well because one, our climate is this is a dry area, and we were not harvesting or getting enough from the input. But after working with a number of institutions, specifically the Potato Center International, we've been able to measure on one specific variety, which is the orange flesh sweet potato. And the reason why we measured on this is because one, it has worked well for us in this dry area, and also with reference to the nutrients that we came to find out is that the nutrients, the advantages of this variety outdoes the advantages in all the other varieties. So we decided to measure on this orange flesh sweet potato, and then thereon we also linked with Barton and Bamba, which is a company in Sofia, which provides a market for the excesses that we produce in our farm. And so from that, they also reached to us and taught us on how to do value addition, sweet potato powder, and also drying and consuming it later, which of course has been an advantage to us and the rest of the farmers. So basically, what we're measuring on this, alongside all the other crops that we're doing, we're measuring on multiplying the orange flesh sweet potatoes so that we can share with the other farmers that are probably contracted by B&B, or they just want to do it for their own domestic consumption. This is a very unique crop because, for one, you've asked about the months, but I also want to mention that for it to grow, we look at it in two perspectives. One, if you're doing the seedlings, you only need around 2 months you get your seedlings. Now you can transplant to your main farm, where you'll now have your crop growing for 3 months. After 3 months, you're able to harvest, and you don't harvest it once. You do it. You can harvest it like 4 times within a year, because you harvest the roots and then you replant it again. You harvest and replant it again. The orange flesh sweet potato is unique because, one, like you can feel, the sun is really scorching. But when you look at the crop, it is still intact. It hasn't wilted, it hasn't dried. This is because it has that value of being able to withstand very hot temperatures. And in addition to that, it is a very good nitrogen fixing plant. So it is drawing a lot of nitrogen from the atmosphere and fixing it in the soil, which in return enables it to do well because of the moist content. Again, it is a cover crop. It does not allow for excess loss of water, because once it's in the vegetative stage, it spreads the leaves and covers the entire moisture that is in the soil. Now, climate change, it is a phenomenon that is all over globally, and one of the reasons why we decided to adopt organic farming is in a bid to be able to mitigate climate change, and especially in our area. If you look around, we've tried growing a lot of trees, fruit trees, indigenous trees. This is because we are trying to also counter climate change, so that we are able to at least to save our small rivers, to save to manage our water sources, or our water reservoirs. So besides that, it is also important to consider that having this kind of crop in your farm, you're able to trap excess running water. So now that means whenever it rains and you have this kind of crop, it will be able to trap the water, and then it will sip it down, and then it will be used by other plants that are growing nearby.
Dorcas Muikali. I work with Baton and Bamba closely with farmers as our suppliers. And now we're working on sweet potatoes, where we've given them their vines for multiplication, that we may distribute them to our farmers. We work closely with James as our DVM, and our vines are almost ready. So we have our farmers who are ready to pick the vines to produce the roots. So we have about 5,000 farmers whom we've trained on sweet potato production, and we are working closely with them from planting to management to harvesting. And we as Baton and Bamba, we provide a market where we do process sweet potatoes. We make crackers, which we sell to our customers. We have some challenges. You find some farmers, they have the land, but they do not have the adequate resources, including water, which has been our main challenge, because producing sweet potatoes requires a lot of water. The other problem when it comes to management, farmers are a bit reluctant. You have to pay frequent visits to make sure that whatever you've taught them, they are observing in their fields to help reduce the effects of diseases and pests. It takes a shorter time here in the field, and also it's resistant to drought, and it requires minimal supervision.
My name is Sami Ageli. I work for International Potato Center as a consultant, and in this project we are doing with Baton and Bamba, we are offering the technical backstopping for their farmers and the extension staff. So in this project we have a particular variety that we are promoting with them, and this variety is called Irene, which has been bred through the conventional process. And it is a cross that has been made with other varieties, and it has resulted to this Irene variety. And it has been tested across Kenya in partnership with Calro and Kefis. And it is a variety that has been released officially in Kenya, and it has got special attributes. One, the short maturing variety. 3.5 to 4 months, it's ready for harvesting, and also is fairly drought resistant. It can do well in areas where there is minimum rainfall, like in Machakos, we have seen that. And also the nutritional value of the variety is very rich in beta carotene. And beta carotene, as we all know, is the precursor of vitamin A in our body. And I don't want to overemphasize the role vitamin A plays in our body. So this variety, through the consumption of this variety, we are able to address the hidden hunger in most of our households. What is happening with our conventional breeding? You may find that a variety A is very good, for example, it has high yield potential, but does poorly in the dry areas. Variety B has poor yield potential, but does well in dry areas. So what we do, we can cross the two and then screen out the lines and do the selection, where we end up now with a good line that we can promote. And when we are doing the crossing, we take pollen from one variety and the ovule from the other, and then we cross the normal way that we do, and then we do the selection in the field. So I would like to rub off the notion that this is a genetically modified variety. This is a conventionally bred variety which has been officially released in Kenya, and not only being a short maturing crop, but also the fact that it has a good canopy. The ground cover that it gives when it is fully grown helps to maintain the moisture in the soil, which makes its production be slightly higher even when the rain goes down or the moisture goes down in the soil.